Today we are installing our power.
Well, we're starting to install our power.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, guys. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we needed some help.
So we called our friends.
The Trujillos. Hey, guys!
Hi! Guys, these are our friends, Michelle and Juan. And they are on YouTube too. And their channel is Beginning from the Spring.
Yeah.
They're just set out in a vintage bus that they just finished remodeling.
And they have a big, beefy 48-volt solar system.
Yeah.
And so when we needed a big, beefy 48-volt solar system, I was like,
volt?
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, hey, Juan, can you help me? And he's like, of course.
Yeah.
And so they're here.
Yep.
And we're going to do some power stuff. And it's going to be awesome. First step is that we need to build a box to compress these batteries. So lithium batteries need to be compressed when you install them because they have a tendency to swell over time. If you compress them, that extends the life of them. So we just took some of the wood that we're going to use to mount everything else to. We used some threaded rod and we've just built a little box here and we're just going to compress it. We're doing groups of 16 together and then we're going to stack them on top of each other and build a whole frame. But for now, we're just starting with compressing the batteries. It's time to connect our solar panels. It's very exciting. So here's what we're doing. We have 30 panels, and what we've decided we're going to do is connect 5 in series. So we'll have basically 6 arrays of 5 panels. Connecting in series means that you connect the positive and the negative together all the way down, and then at the end you'll have sort of a cable you have to create to run all the way back up. We've got combiner boxes over here. Each combiner box can take 4 inputs. So we'll have 2 empty inputs by the time we're done. So we're going to run 4 inputs into one box, 2 into the other. If you ever want to add more panels, we've got that capability. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start just connecting the existing wires together, which is really easy. But then we will have to go in and we'll have to build our own wires and MC4 connectors and create the rest of the cables to finish off that series connection. So, guys, you ready?
Yep.
Yes. All right, let's do it.
Love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric.
All right, we're making cables. If you've never made an MC4 cable before, they're a little confusing. The reason is because this looks like a male and a female connection, right? But actually, if you take the metal pieces that go inside, the female goes inside the male and the male goes inside the female. So the metal pieces are connecting like this, but then the other pieces are connecting like this. It really messes with your head every time you make a connection. You have to be really careful that you're doing the right thing. So anyway, we're basically just making cables to length that have a male on one end, a female on the other, and that will connect to the positive end that needs a connection and the negative end that needs a connection. So 2 wires for each array, essentially, that runs back to the combiner box.
And I'm hot over the moon, you know that you got me good. I'm not even mad, I need you more than I should. I feel like I'm dying. Oh, and I found heaven in your eyes. Tell me it's all mine, holding on too tight. You're like a neon sign in a starless night, showing up so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me, like I'm all you ever gonna need. Seeing colors that I've never seen. I love it, how you love me electric, like you do. Love it, how you love me electric, always you. Love it, how you love me electric, electric. I love it, how you love me electric.
Day 2, Juan and John's epic solar build.
Electrical escapades.
Alright, today we're trying to get our battery bus bars made.
Right, so we started compressing the batteries yesterday, but now we have to build the rest of sort of the box that they're going to sit in. But as part of that, we also have to create all the bus bars. So the batteries came with bus bars, but they were
Not
tiny
enough.
and not very thick, and they really didn't give us enough to hook it up the way we needed to hook it up. So we bought a bunch of copper bar stock, and we're making our own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's how we roll.
Because that's just how we roll, yeah. So that's kind of the plan for today, is to get this battery, the whole battery bank, assembled and put together sort of in its final resting place, so that then we can start hooking stuff up to it.
This is getting so real, babe.
I know.
It's very exciting.
very
Do you think it's going to be
exciting.
done by Friday?
I don't know, I hope so.
Here's hoping, guys.
We're in like the building stage now, but after this, just is hooking stuff up.
I know.
So I think it'll go pretty fast.
We might have power by this weekend.
How
Which
cool.
means we're just going to turn that air conditioner on and leave it.
Uh-huh. And we're just going to come lay in here.
Uh-huh.
We're like, kids,
We might take
we're
a
just
couple
laying
breaks.
down.
Can we take a couple days off maybe after?
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
For real. What is that?
That's my time to get going.
Okay.
If I do that every time.
We'll do opposite. Ready? One,
Okay,
two,
ready.
three. No, go off the screen.
Oh, wait. I don't have a way
there's
to go
nowhere for
up.
you to go.
All right. You go forward and I'll go backwards.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Live in the moment till I die. And I'm going gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. Fire in the veins, I fight to gain, breaking all the rules just to keep me sane. Living the moment till I die. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. No matter how hard we try.
Back out in the solar shed this morning for another day of Juan and John's extravaganza, guys. Today I'm going to be painting the battery box that's going to go here. You saw us working on it yesterday. We're also going to be oiling up a piece of wood that's going to be mounted on this back wall here. It's going to hold all of our gear. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see it pretty soon. And I got to clean this mess up, guys. It's a disaster in here. It rained last night, so everything just got thrown in, and cleanup day. And maybe power day? I don't know. I don't know how much we're gonna get done. The guys are still working. They got full-time jobs. So, yeah. I gotta get done what I can so that when they're ready to work, everything's ready. Let's go.
All right, so we are prepping this corner for install. See, we finished the battery shelf yesterday and painted it so it looks real nice. So now we're installing the piece of wood. It's gonna go back behind here. It's gonna mount to this wall, and then we're gonna affix all the stuff to that piece of wood. And then we can start connecting things.
Let's go, babe. Let's go.
Positive on PV, negative will come out.
What the heck is a VE bus? Wire connection? I have no idea.
And go to the shunt.
I'm just wondering if
So like that could go
Maybe
in
there.
between.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then line in neutral here.
Okay.
And then you'll have another ground here to your generator plug.
This is just
I have no idea what they're talking about.
No, it's got a ton of wire. Did it have a like
Shunts.
A harness? Oh yeah, it's right here.
Controllers, displays. I have no idea.
Come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah. I'm just a little different from all these dudes. Okay. They riding waves, me, I'm up on a cruise. Yeah. You feel like me, then you got nothing to prove. I see him trying to do what I do. Yeah. Even Mick Jagger couldn't move like a move. Yeah. You think you're how it look, I'm up on the moon. Yeah. Got fresh to death and it came out of the tomb. That's cause I got a different type of gratitude. Don't be sour, got my power from the Beatitudes. And we did it the long way, check out the latitude. I'm unapologetically fly, no wonder why, that's just my attitude. Yeah, that's right, yeah, that's just my attitude. Ooh, yeah, I don't blame you, if I was you, I'd probably be getting mad too. Yeah, I know now that there ain't no better dude. Yeah, that's just my attitude. Okay, that's just my. I'm sorry, homie, I don't mean to be flawless. Yeah, I seen that envy in your eye when you saw this. Yeah, hey, when you shoot your shot, it make you a target. You're getting got, they wanna take all your pockets. Ooh, hey, it's a gift, how I avoid all the nonsense. Yeah, don't be a hater, it's no good for your conscience. Yeah, you from this world, I'm from somewhere far beyond it. Yeah, matter of fact, man, I don't even belong here, cause I got a different type of swagger, dude.
So we finally got the battery all put in there. We used the bus bars to connect it all together. So basically what we're doing is we're taking 2 cells at a time and joining them together. So we're just creating one huge battery out of this. And it's a 48 volt battery. Technically it's a little bit more. It's a 50 something volts. But that will work for what we're doing. So now that we have this in place, we're trying to figure out how to get this wall mounted back here so it's sturdy enough to hang all the stuff on it, because the inverter alone is between 60 and 80 pounds, and then we have 2 pretty large solar charge controllers, all sorts of stuff we've got to mount and pull through. So, and it's got to come off the wall so we can get back behind it. It's confusing. Anyway, we're going to build a few more brackets in order to do that, so that's what we're doing right now. So yeah, we're making progress, and we're welding, as you can see. The equipment wall mount, we finally figured out a bracketing system to attach it to the floor and to the wall, so it's very sturdy and secure. The Trujillos are welding up the last bits of that, and so now we're going to go lay this out over here and set all the components on it and go ahead and place most of them, get them screwed in, get them ready to go, and then we'll carry it back in, mount it in, and then we'll start wiring things up. solar install. End of day 3. Batteries built. We got our, I don't know what we're calling this. The Hobbit wall? Is that what we're calling it? Kind of looks like a little Hobbit door. Anyway, that's where we're mounting all our stuff. Not everything is mounted. As you can see, we just kind of got started. We ran out of screws, the right hardware to mount stuff. But if all goes well, we should have everything hooked up tomorrow.
Day 4. Let's go see what Juan and John are up to now.
Yesterday, Ada came and looked at these wires when they were still hanging down, and she looked very disappointed. She said, "Dad, if that's how they're always going to look, I'm just going to go cut them down right now." So we got to clean this up, or else Ada's going to cut it down. So that's what we're doing.
Well, I was doing alright until the sun went down. Then not even 10 minutes into the fight, and I couldn't make a sound. But you changed it now. You found a way somehow to make it better. When I find myself back at 0 again, when it's a fast break, a clean start, when I'm broken, you can mend, you can repair my heart. Knowing you've got my back, I stand a little bit taller. You chase the trouble away, you make it better.
Ada, how does it look?
Approved. Come out, make cables.
With you, I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you.
Welcome back to Juan and John's Electrical Escapades. Honestly, it was Juan and Michelle's Electrical Escapades because they did all the work. We just kind of watched. So we have the battery connected. We have the BMS hooked up to it, and we have the inverter connected. It's not powering anything yet. The solar's not connected. We're going to do that later. But I wanted Juan to kind of walk you through everything that we've done. Just a quick overview. We'll get real nerdy later, I promise. But for now, this is kind of the overview. So
Right.
take it
So
away.
yeah. So this week we built a rack. Ashley learned to weld on this rack, and so we built. So these are 280 amp hour LFP cells from China. They do come with their own bus bars, which are terrible. So John went ahead and bought. Yeah, they're tiny. So Jonathan went ahead and bought new bus bars, which was great. We drilled and tapped those and got them all installed. They look awesome. They will carry much better current. Anyway, what it is there's 32 cells here. It's a 48 volt system, so it's 16 cells in series with 2 in parallel. So we paralleled 2, then hooked them in series to 2 more, all the way to 16. We had to do them because of space constraints. We had to do them in 2 rows, and so we tied them together with a big 2-aught cable, right, which you can see right here. There are BMS leads on every single one of the leads that we've labeled, and those run into our BMS. So our BMS monitors for voltage, over voltage, under voltage, temperatures, limits your amps, all of that stuff. It also has a shunt which monitors power coming in and out to give you an accurate assessment of what your state of charge is. In other words, how much percent is left in your battery. All that runs through a contactor. First it comes out through a Class T fuse. So first thing we have is Class T fuse, a manual on-off switch, just to double check, an automatic on-off switch, which is a contactor. So if the BMS detects any kinds of problems, and there are a lot of them, it could be temperature related, it could be, so if it's below freezing, these batteries don't like to be charged. If it is too hot, they don't like to be too hot, so it will shut
and
it down.
There's temperature sensors on here too.
Right,
There's 3 temperature sensors.
3 temperature sensors and a temperature sensor on the BMS. So it monitors all of that. If any of those parameters, and it balances the cells. So once it gets to a certain voltage, it will start balancing. So this is a top balancing system, because the way we expect Jonathan and Ashley to use this is solar's going to come pouring in, it's going to fill up their battery, and they're going to probably, hopefully, if we've designed the system correctly, sit in the top half of the battery most of the time. And what that'll do is it'll extend the life. We've put a bunch, so it's about 27 to 28 kilowatt hours of energy in this battery. That is then going through all this stuff. This is a breaker, just more safety, taking care of the wire. Then it comes down to a 5,000 VA, I like to say watt, but it's actually VA, Victron inverter with an integrated charger. So the plan is they're going to have a generator outside, which if something happens, let's say it's cloudy or a tornado blocks out a volcano blocks out the sun. Volcano. You can't get any sun power and you're running super low on battery. He can fire up a generator, and that generator will come through this and it will charge his batteries. But most of the time, he's got the gigantic solar rack outside. That will power these 2 things here. We haven't hooked those up because my mistake. I forgot to tell him to buy some breakers, so here we are.
Also, we haven't run the wire either.
That's true. The wire hasn't been run. But anyway, these will be hooked up later. It's all controlled through a color-controlled GX. So if we power this on, we will see sort of how it all works. So this comes on and it checks the whole system. That's the very first thing it does. After everything checks out, we'll get a health light of green. It will power everything up. You'll hear the contactor fire up. There it goes. The inverter will then have power and be able to be turned on. Whoop. I hate doing this. So there we go. We're inverting. We've got things powered up. This little monitor is part of the BMS, and it will tell us each individual cell voltage as well as the resistance on each individual cell, temperatures, all things that you want to know regarding battery will be told here. And it also feeds that to the Victron system. So that's a little bit more detailed than I thought we would get, but that's how the system works.
One more thing. Okay. So the other sort of big idea is that the BMS is actually talking to all the Victron stuff too, right?
Yes, so the BMS controls both of these charge controllers, as well as the charger that is inside of the inverter, to tell it what the optimal sort of configuration is for bringing amps and volts into the battery.
Yeah.
So in theory, it will make it last a lot longer. It'll be nicer to the battery, and you'll get more life out of it.
Yeah.
So there it is. It's all powered up. It's working. So unfortunately, we have to leave. I would love to help them with the rest of it, but
You guys gotta go travel.
we've got some traveling to do. So, yep.
Thanks,
But it's
man.
been fun. Yeah, it's been super fun.
Yeah.
So follow. I'm sure he'll have much more on this system, and we'll probably be doing a few telecalls to just be sure everything is right. We've been running a very similar system to this in our bus, and it has been amazing. So we've been off grid. We built our bus off grid for a year and a half in Phoenix, Arizona, in 117 degrees, running air conditioners and grinders and saws. And so we've already torture tested this system. This system will actually be more powerful than ours, so I think it will work great for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, we could not have done it without you. Thank you so much.
It was our pleasure. So it was fun.
We're excited to see you guys go adventure finally.
Yes, we're very excited to get out.
Listen, you've got to go follow Juan and Michelle beginning from this morning. They're on YouTube. They have a website.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yeah,
They're pretty much all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
If you want to find out all the nerdy stuff, because they went into way more detail building their own setup.
Yep.
They've got all sorts of really interesting stuff, and they're going to be traveling all over the place and doing lots of fun stuff. So make sure you follow them. And we got some power to hook up, so we'll see you next time.
I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. Let me go back in the closet after the storm. No, I'm not a match simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. Your impression of a city you wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. And I'm not here to criticize the risk. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. I am not a witness here to call you in for the things that you done or that thing that you did. And I'm not the shadow of anyone you've been. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.